This is a Pod Dealers Network podcast.
So my proudest moment of 2019 just happened, I don't know, a week ago. So my daughter comes over to the sober house that I'm living in to visit. And when she comes over, we watch Creative Galaxy. That's my new show right now, Creative Galaxy. And so we're watching Creative Galaxy. And like a few weeks back, we had Creative Galaxy on, and one of my roommates was downstairs, and I told him, hey man, we had the TV for long enough, watch what you want. And he's like, nah, I don't want to interrupt y'all. And I'm like, nah, man, watch what you want. I'm trying to teach a lesson that, you can't always do what you want to do. You have to be, aware of others and considerate of others. And so fast forward like 2 weeks after that, we're watching Creative Galaxy. We're having our daddy-daughter time. And one of my roommates comes downstairs. And my daughter turns to me and she says, Daddy, can we turn this off so somebody else can watch something else? Just the proudest moment of my life. So thank you, Sweet Pea. Highlight of my 2019. With that being said, let's go. Hi, Rhapsody.
What is TWS podcast, episode, whatever, who cares at this point?
Bar.
The rants of the vindicated.
It's my podcast and I do what I want to.
People, listen.
Word, is it still live?
It's not working for me, Rich. All right, we're going to keep going.
I know I changed my voice at work.
Bars on the radio.
What is TWS podcast?
Ready. I feel like the Neanderthal. Staring at my watch and I'm feeling so new school. Suicide attempts, how many tries to take?
They ain't ready.
Hey. Top priority, peace before everything, God before anything, love before anything, real before everything, home before any place, truth before anything, style and stay radiate, love power slay the hate, truth killer figgy face, Bay say to they face, ain't afraid of major straight, race set the table straight, flow greatest like the greatest lakes.
Top priority. All right, welcome to another episode of the What is TWS podcast. As always, I am J. Flan, representing the White Pants Society, and thank you for lending me your time once again. So this will be the last show of 2019. Man, I went back and forth like this week. I really had gotten to the point where I was just gonna be like, everybody will understand if I take a week off. Like, nobody listens to this shit anyway. It'll be cool if I just don't do nothing this week, because I really had couldn't come up with any ideas, anything to talk about. And then, out the blue, something popped up. I was going to have the homies, AJ and Ross, back on the show. And that kind of fell through. I played a part in that. I mean, I didn't push for it, and then nobody, mentioned it, and I just, let it go. And so Monday came, and I had, really just, come to grips with the fact that, this would be the first week in a couple months, couple consecutive months that I hadn't released an episode. And then some things happened to me today, and it just felt like, it happened for a reason. I need to get this message out. This needs to be my last message of 2019. So I decided I'm going to try to get this episode. I'm recording this Monday night. It's like 9 o'clock Monday night. I'm trying to get it out before midnight so I can say I got the episode out on Monday. But one way or another, it's coming out before the end of the year. And this will be the final What is TWS episode of 2019. Thank y'all for rocking with me. All right. I think I want to hit these buttons one more time for the year's over. Fuck! Fuck! I had the wrong sound effect queued up. Anyway, thanks, Ross, for that sound effect. Sound effect of 2019. Greatest soundbite I've ever recorded. Anyway, so the universe is working around me. All right, let me start out with the disclaimer again. I'm not a preacher, nor do I'm trying to be a preacher or anything like that. I'm going through a period of spiritual growth, and sometimes, when these epiphanies or whatever come to me, or when a lesson becomes clear, when somebody just told me a week ago, actually applies in my life and I see the usefulness and the benefit in it and I see the truth in what was told to me, I feel a need to share it with people. And then if I can express it, if I can relay it to someone else, that helps me better understand it. And so that's what this is. This is not me trying to be preachy or tell anybody how to live their life. Or I'm not trying to get on a soapbox or any of that stuff. I just some things happen over the last couple days that don't feel like coincidence. And it feels like something if I shared it with other people, it might help. So what we're going to do, because I'm not doing New Year's resolutions or anything like that this year. Like, I'm not 2020 going to be my year. Yeah, nah. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to get done. It don't have to happen in 2020 as long as every day, every 24 hours, I'm taking steps toward those things. And I'm meeting my goals and I'm setting goals for myself and achieving them, then I'm fine. So I'm not doing the New Year's resolutions. But what I do want to do in the new year is focus on a lesson I was taught, just a couple weeks ago by a brilliant man. I hope to have him on the show one day. He's excellent dude. Glad I met him. Like it can only be fate. Like it's weird. It's weird. But anyway, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna set in motion a plan to eliminate, I'm gonna say 95 to 99% of the problems in your life right now. I'm not saying that by the end of this podcast they're gonna be gone. It's possible. It could happen. But I'm saying is that I'm gonna present to you a plan that could possibly help you eliminate 95% of the issues or for your problems right now. And the other 5, I have some suggestions about. I want to share with you something I have for the other 5. But the other 5 may require a belief system that not everybody has. So we're going to hold the other 5 for them. We're going to start with real basics. It's probably going to be a short episode. I'm not going to go too deep into it because it's a real simple concept. So I believe, and I was told this, that in working this program and in doing the things to try to keep myself sober, something I could do that would eliminate, 95% of my problems is to realize that they're not real. If you could say to yourself, this is not real. And what I mean by that, so this is what happened to me just this past weekend. So I'm a contractor. All right, I'm a contractor for a government agency. And as a contractor, if I don't work, I don't have PTO and shit like that. If I don't work, I don't get paid. That simple. So holidays have been coming. Thanksgiving hit me hard. Government offices closed for multiple days, closed early on certain days. And, again, I don't work, I don't get paid. Christmas holiday, office was only open that Monday. So the 23rd was the only day. So for a week, I potentially was only going to get 8 hours. And, with daycare and expenses and gifts and just, trying to get back on my feet and not making the money that I used to make, like the idea of a week at only 8 hours was just, how the fuck am I going to do this? And I'm trying to do the whole faith thing and, God going to see me through, but it's like, math is mad. Like, I couldn't really wrap my head around it. So anyway, I did, finally reach out to my, my boss, and I was just like, is there any stuff I can work on during that week so I can get some hours in? And he gave me a project, gave me a pretty substantial project. But me being the procrastinator and the addict that I am, go to work Monday, I don't really do anything regarding the project. Don't really make any progress. I'm looking at it, and then in my head the whole time I'm working on it. Like I'm coming up, formulating the plan. I'm formulating the most brilliant plan so that when I do go to execute, this is light work. Like I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna knock it out. It's over. So I'm not even stressing about like how much time it takes me to get it done, because in my head I've got it all solved. It's gonna run by real smooth. So Monday, nothing. Tuesday's Christmas Eve. My daughter's at the house. We had some other things going on. Nothing. Wednesday is Christmas. I had a toothache. I had to see a dentist or something because my tooth was killing me. Nothing. Thursday, I just loafed. Thursday, I was going to be like my official day off, to have a day off where I didn't feel like shit, but I didn't have to do shit. So I just chilled on Thursday. And then finally Friday comes around and I'm like, all right, I need to work on this. I need to work on this. So I start working, start getting to work. And I'm getting the feeling as I get into work and enacting this plan I had in my head, it's going to take a little longer than I thought it was going to take. But, if I ain't got nothing else to do. If I just grind through it, we're good. So I'm working. I'm remoting in from my laptop at home, to the system at work, and I'm getting things done. And at one point I take a break, I log off, I do something else. And I go to log back on, and I can't. I can't log on. And I try everything. I try to log on all these different ways. I try to go to these websites. I'm trying to, validate that my credentials work. And nothing works. And in my head, I just got fired. That's where I went in my head. In my head, I did, I was procrastinating too much. Somebody was probably paying attention to see if I was getting these things done. Here it is, Friday. It's after 5. They're like, oh, at the end of the week, he didn't get it done. Fuck this nigga. He's just a contractor. He's out of here. In my mind, I was fired. I lost my job. And they just hadn't told me yet. Like, they just locked me out of everything. They erased my accounts or whatever. So I couldn't log into anything. I am, that's where I was. And as I say it now, it sounds asinine. But at the moment, it was real. It was my reality. It was real. I had no job in my mind. It was to the point where I needed to, it's been rough during this holiday season being a contractor and, not getting full checks. And so I've been spacing out my grocery trips to the point where I got nothing. I try to make the food last as long as I can before I buy some more. And it was time for me to order groceries. That was my plan. I was because I don't go to the grocery store. I order groceries. I hate shopping. But anyway, it was time to order groceries. And I'm seriously contemplating with myself whether or not I should do it. Whether or not, how important is food right now? How much do you really need to eat, nigga? Can you, what do we got in there? We got some cans of soup. What can we make do? We got some yogurt. We can stretch this shit. We can make it I'm in my head. I've lost my job. I'm thinking about not buying food. I think my daughter daycare bill was coming up, and it's how I'm gonna pay that, how much money. I'm in full panic mode because I have already figured out what's going wrong in my head. I've decided that I no longer have a job. Now, a few hours later, fast forward to today, I was able to get back in. I had to work pretty hard, but I had to work right up until 3 o'clock yesterday morning, or this morning, Monday morning. But I got everything done, and I went to work today, and everything's fine. My boss doesn't come back to the 6th, so he probably wasn't paying attention, to what he's still on vacation. Everybody's chilling. It's a chill day. There's not too many people there at work. It was nothing. The entire problem, the entire panic attack, the entire emotional roller coaster I went through was self-created. All of that was not based on what was happening. It was based on the story I was telling myself about what was happening. And that's something that somebody said to me early in recovery too. It's not what happens that hurts you. It's the story you tell yourself about what happened that hurts you. And so when I say you could get rid of 95% of your problems right now by just realizing and telling yourself it's not real, it's because so much of it is what we've decided is going to happen, what we're afraid of that's going to happen. arguments you have with people in your head about situations that haven't even occurred yet, and you're already arguing with them. And I know this for me is that when I'm in those spaces and I'm having that conversation with you, whether it be real or imagined, the feelings are the same. Like, I feel I'm upset. And being upset is not a good feeling. Nobody enjoys being upset. And being upset and anxiety and stress and embarrassment or anger and hurt, sadness, all those things were the things that I would try to chase away with alcohol. But 95% of the times, those feelings came from imaginary situations. Shit that I had made up about what was going on. I had figured out that I was so smart that I could piece together all the variables, and I knew every outcome of every situation. I knew why you did what you did, why you said what you said. I knew it was all about me and that I should be hurt by it. I've had the conversation with you. I've had the argument with you. I know what you're going to say. I know what I'm going to say back. I know that you're going to say something else that's going to piss me off. So now, not only am I upset about the thing that didn't happen, but I'm upset about the thing you said about the thing that didn't happen. And I'm feeling this. It's real to me because my mind has tricked me that way. And I've talked before in the podcast about, like, we are not our thoughts. We're aware of our thoughts, and we're the consciousness, but we don't necessarily control our thinking. So another one of the meetings that I go to is a meditation meeting. And in the meditation meeting, when we're meditating, I'm not an expert on meditation, but in the simplest way it's been given to me is that it's like you're trying to clear your mind, not focus on anything, or not consciously think about anything. Like, focus on your breathing, or focus on a mantra or saying or a sound or a smell. Like, focus on just not thinking, or don't focus on a thought. And and try to clear your mind for as long as you can. For 20 minutes, we sit in the dark in silence. And in those 20 minutes, your mind is designed to tell you these stories. So your mind is going to start telling you stories. Thoughts are going to come through, and you're not supposed to be upset at yourself for thinking. You're supposed to get in the practice of acknowledging a thought, like, oop, that's a thought. Thank you. And get back to your breathing, or get back to that sound, or get back to the mantra. And what the guy in that meeting was explaining to me is that what that practice is teaching me to do is, in my regular life, when I'm getting caught in one of those stories, when I'm walking down the street and I see a guy 2 blocks away, and because of what he's wearing, I've decided what kind of person he is, what he thinks about me, and I've had the confrontation in my head that we're never going to have, but I'm there. That practice and that meditation is supposed to help me be able to say, oh, I'm in a story. That's cool. Nice story. I'm a creative guy. And come back to the now. Come back to reality. And so that all weekend, while I was panicking about, I could have sworn I got fired. I could have sworn I got fired. They had locked me out of all my accounts. I couldn't get in because I hadn't completed the assignment on time. I had a whole story. I knew everybody and what they were saying and how upset they were and what was going to happen on Monday. I had figured it all out. And if at any point I had just been able to pull myself back and be like, that's a story, I don't know any of that, let's get back to the now. What can I do right now? Right now, I can keep trying to log in. I can put in a help desk ticket about my login issues, figure out why it is that I can't get in the system, and continue to work, do what I can do to make the situation better, rather than deciding that I'm smart enough to have figured out of all possible outcomes which one it's going to be. I'd have had a better weekend. I could have enjoyed my holiday a little bit. I created that. And those situations would be the exact situations that drove me to make a lot of the mistakes that I made in life. Because I would have assumed that I've already lost my job. I'm not going to be able to pay my rent. I'm going to get kicked out. And that might have been my excuse to go back to what I used to do. I ain't got nothing, I'm about to lose everything anyway, so who cares? And all that would have been created, would have been mine. And if I could just say it's not real. It's like them Freddy Krueger movies, like when they be in a dream or something, they have to, once they can convince themselves this is not real, like, now they got powers. They can fight back or whatever, like the Neo shit, like whatever metaphor you want to put in there. If you can look at the majority of the things you worry about, the majority of the things that cause you anxiety and stress and hurt, and pain, and just take a closer look at those things and see how many of them are real. How many of them are things that have happened? How many of the things are things that you have decided are going to happen? How many of those things are feelings you've decided other people have? Motivations you decided other people have? How many of them are real? And I believe, and at least it's been true for me, and it was true this week, that the vast majority of those things are just not real. And if I can come to terms with the fact that worries are going to pop up, anxiety is going to pop up, I'm going to have negative thoughts, I'm going to have bad thoughts, I'm going to have bad dreams, I'm going to have nightmares, and if I can wake up and be like, that wasn't real, life can be a lot better. So that's my lesson for 2019. That's what happened to me this week. That's what I was inspired to talk about today. Not funny at all. Sorry. Maybe in the new year I get back to the humor. We'll get AJ and Ross. We've been playing a lot of Madden. There's been a lot of Redskin Cowboy discussions. There's been stuff that we could talk about to be more interesting. But today, today the stars aligned and made me feel like I had to deliver this message because I care so much. All right, so that's the 95%, 95 to 99%. So what about the rest of it? Well, this, and this is still coming from the same gentleman. And this requires a little bit of faith, belief. If you believe, and I'm not telling you what to believe in or who to call God or who to pray to or anything like that. But if you believe that there's a power greater than you, if you believe there's a higher power out there, and this is not, for some people, this is going to sound way too close to 12-step stuff. And it's based on 12-step stuff, but this is not for addicts. This is just for people. So if 95% of those problems you can eliminate by acknowledging that they're really not real, the other 5%, I go to my faith in my higher power and I say, well, that 5% that is going to happen, he's going to be there with me. And he hasn't failed me yet. So 95% of it is bullshit. The other 5% I got to back up. It's a pretty hopeful way to look at 2020. The rest of your life. Tomorrow. Whatever. So I don't know. That's what we got for today. 2020 is coming. I appreciate everybody that's pressed the play button. I say this every week. Every time you lend me just, a moment of your time. In the new year, again, I'm trying to focus on my projects and do as much creatively as I can and focus on my sobriety and try to be a better person, a better flan every day. If you can, check out ttcharities.org. That's my friend Tavares and his charity organization. They do a lot to try to, be their brother's keeper and take care of folks. So if you have the money, the resources, donate anything you can. Clothes, books, toys. They always have some sort of drive or always have some sort of initiative, in the works to try to help people. And so let's help those that are helping us. And then Black Millennials for Flint is another, charity I big up. There's still time in my fundraiser on Facebook to donate, but you can always donate to them at any other time. But just stay abreast of what's going on. See how you can help. And if you have the time, you have the resources, whatever, do what you can. That will also help you eliminate some of your problems. Because you get out of yourself and start caring about others, and you don't have time to make up all those stories. Or write some of the stories down. That might eliminate a lot of your problems too. A lot of you are real creative. Do you think about this? Like when you have dreams, like you're writing dialogue. Like you have full on conversations with people. You say something, they say something, and sometimes multiple people. Like you really are an incredible creator. So maybe like, you know, if that's your boat, if you know that floats your boat, write some of that stuff down. Do something with it. You might have some, you know, some of these stories that are driving you crazy. Might be the next Tyler Perry movie or something. You never know. Why not? But anyway, until we speak again, be safe and be the light. I'm going to leave y'all with this last rock out song for 2019. I think it fits in with my message, and I hope it says something to you. So until we speak again, peace.
Be you noble or lowly, the riot is easy and the silence is loud. You can build yourself up by just turning things down. We were fashioned in love, so why should we feel lonely when forever is only lifetime. So keeping on, maintain the rock.
Don't stop.
You keep up the rock.
Keep on.
Maintain the